it's also in our best interest to know that if I can find something that works where I can still show up and put in effort on those below average days, that means that I can make progress on any day, because if I can do it on a below average day, I can easily do it on an above average day as well. It is no secret that the gym is a great place for personal development, but there is something to say about someone going from out of shape to in really good shape, that transformation is so much more than just a physical change going on. And with that all being said, after I've gone through somewhat similar transformations like that myself, here's 4 of the greatest life lessons the gym and just physical fitness in general has taught me. Lesson number 1 is work hard and smart. I think out of all 4 lessons, this is the greatest one that really helps me feel like I'm already ahead in life at 22 years old, just because I feel like, yes, I can work really hard while I'm young, but if I'm not spending my time and doing the right things that are giving me the most results for my decisions and for my effort, then I could be spending a lot of wasted energy on something that doesn't even matter. For example, in the gym, if I'm doing a bunch of HIIT cardio trying to lose body fat, but I don't have my diet and nutrition in place, then I'm not going to lose body fat, because my diet is the main driver for how you lose body fat. And so yeah, I can work hard in the gym all I want, but if I don't also work smart with my diet and nutrition in place, I'm not going to be making the progress that I want to see. I think on the flip end of this has also helped me realize that just because I worked hard doesn't mean I'm always going to make results in certain areas. I think looking ahead though, working smart is such an important factor to take into consideration, because I am young and I am willing to work hard, but also I really don't know much as someone else that's been doing this for 10 years longer than me. And so the more I can reach out and try to buy other people's times and learn from other people's mistakes, 1, I will make less mistakes myself, but then 2, not only will I learn from my mistakes along the way, but I'll also be coached through them and learn from other people's mistakes, saving myself time overall. So again, while I'm young, I feel up to working hard no matter what, yes, but if I can also work smart, I can make some really good progress while I'm young and just kind of cruise off that the older I get. I also think when comparing someone that is super successful, say in the gym, shredded, six-pack, lots of muscle, versus just an average person, or just in life in general, say someone who's super successful, great entrepreneur, and just an average person working a 9 to 5, I want to say that it is in our best interest to not perceive the difference as this entrepreneur, this successful person in the gym is working just 1,000 times harder than the average person. Now, of course, genetics and steroids and other PEDs plays a huge role in the gym, but just in general in life, I think it is always a great idea to be questioning, how could I be better spending my time so that way my efforts are being rewarded for the most that they could be. So be willing to work hard and really put in the time and effort for things that you want to do, but then also be willing to open to change whatever you're trying to do so that we can try to do something smarter, more efficient, and get more out of the energy effort that you put in. And lesson number 2 is that life, health, and fitness, these are all infinite games and they are not finite games. Finite games, they have fixed rules, known players, and there's an end definitive point in which we can claim someone as the winner and a bunch of other people as the loser. Now, my favorite childhood game was Pokemon, and it's very easy to consider that as a finite game where you are in a battle with one against each other, and whoever beats the other person and defeats all the other Pokemon, they're the winner. In health and fitness, you could consider bodybuilding as a finite game where there is an end definitive date, people show up, whoever has the most muscle, the most definition, has the most symmetry, proportion, you name it, they're considered the winner. After that day, it's over. Now, if you're thinking of just health and fitness in life overall, so we don't say someone won health, we don't say someone won fitness, that is an infinite game. There is no end point until you die, pretty much. So an infinite game, it has known and unknown players, it has changeable rules along the way, and there is no definitive end point in which you cross, say, like a check mark, and that's the end of the game. Infinite games are simply games you continue to choose to play. And if you don't choose to play, that's when you lose. So there's no winners in infinite games, there's only losers, pretty much. But another way to look at that is if you just choose to play every single day, so to say, that is what could be considered winning. So with health, fitness, and exercise, nutrition, you name it, simply choosing to show up every single day and choosing to play the game of an infinite game, you will find success. It's just a matter of time before you get to a certain point or whatever you want to get to. I also think it's important to differentiate that when you perceive something as an infinite game, you realize that truly there are going to be peaks along the way and it's fun to try and get to that point. But if it's an infinite game, it's something that's just always going to be perpetuated forward. It's so much more important to just enjoy the journey rather than just trying to get to the peak of a mountain. The last thing I'll say with finite games and infinite games is that with finite games, you can try and sprint to the end destination, get there as fast as possible, and then you're done, right? But with infinite games, it's simply about what is the minimum amount of work that I can do today to still make progress and still show up and still continue to go forward in this game. So it's not about trying to make progress as fast as possible, but what is the minimum amount of action so that I still can make progress today and show up tomorrow and continue to show up. know the difference between most enjoyable and most optimal. If I wanted to get in better shape, or if I wanted to build muscle, get a different physique or whatever, and I wanted to be most optimal, I would probably do whatever a bodybuilder is doing, because they are trying to get the best condition by a certain date as fast as possible, so that way they can be competitive and beat other people. But if I don't necessarily want to play a finite game like bodybuilding, and I just want to have a good physique for life rather than just a day, suddenly I'm playing a completely different game, and the emphasis not on most optimal decisions, but what's on most enjoyable decisions that still gives me progress. But what is something that I could do most consistently for a long period of time? And whatever that is going to be is whatever I find most enjoyable, because what you enjoy, you'll stick to. So yeah, it's 100% important to see progress at a certain rate that you are happy with and that you are content with, but it's almost more important to find what is enjoyable to get there and to keep going after that point in order to have a good physique for life and have gains and have a certain lifestyle that you can enjoy for the rest of your life. And the last lesson that I learned from gym and just health and fitness in general is that a good life does not always mean feeling good all the time. In the gym, if you want to grow, you are going to have to face discomfort, pain. You're going to struggle a little bit, so that way you can train intensely enough to build muscle to do whatever you want to do. And more often than not, you can frame this in two different ways, where you can willingly choose to do that, and that's when you more often than not grow the most from that, when you willingly choose to embrace discomfort and embrace pain and grow from that. If you try to just simply endure it, tolerate it, almost run away from it, that's what actually causes you the most friction and the most struggle possible. So embracing pain and discomfort is important to growing from it. I also think it's a very human experience that if we are doing something that we enjoy every single day, just on an average bell curve, half of those days are going to be above average days, and that's great to enjoy those, but then half of those days as well are also going to be below average days. So how could I still make progress on those below average days at a rate that I'm happy with, so that way even if it is one of those below average days, I can still do the bare minimum and still know that I am making progress? I think it's most important to realize that it's also in our best interest to know that if I can find something that works where I can still show up and put in effort on those below average days, that means that I can make progress on any day, because if I can do it on a below average day, I can easily do it on an above average day as well. It's simply a human experience. We're going to have highs and lows, but being able to still push through those no matter what day it is important to seeing progress at a consistent rate and being able to find success over a long period of time. And again, success doesn't come from these big highs, these big achievements. It just comes from doing the basics and doing them well and doing them over a long period of time. And a little bonus lesson I'll throw in here is that if you embrace a struggle and you do it with other people within a community, that struggle suddenly becomes so much easier to take on and becomes much more meaningful when you're able to embrace that with other people and find meaning out of that struggle together. So community and expanding our individual pursuits and connecting with other people and doing and embracing or following those individual pursuits along with other people suddenly makes those struggles and those journeys uphill so much easier to embrace and take on. So with these 4 life lessons, I hope you got some value out of it. Let me know in comments down below if you also have any other life lessons that maybe I've missed. I'd really love to hear and learn more from you guys, so that way I can learn from your mistakes as well as my own. Please like and share this video. It does help with the algorithm and trying to grow it here. I really am trying to build up the Underdog Improvement Club to help build communities. That way we can help connect other people. Again, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, share, subscribe, you name it. If you want to get some more content, I post pretty much every day on my story on Instagram. I'll have that link down in the description below. But other than that, I will see you in the next one.